Everybody, this is episode 160 of the Carrying the Culture show. It's your boy Tamal, like Jamal, but with a T. Got a special one here. Super excited about this one. Been 5 years since we chopped it up. Time went by quick. We got a legend, living legend in the building. We're gonna talk about that in a minute. But we got a living legend in the building. We're gonna give you a flowers and talk a whole bunch of shit. But super honored on a Woo Wednesday. Got the shirt, everything ready to go. Woo Wednesday. Shaolin's finest, Shyheim, the rugged child, man child in the building. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you for joining us.
Peace. What up?
Yeah, so thank you, man. And before we get into it, I want to give you your flowers while you're in front of me, rather than maybe not later 20 years down the road. Yo, I appreciate the music. When I was coming up, you know what I'm saying? I'm hearing this little kid spin with these old cats and doing this thing. I appreciate music, but more importantly, man, I appreciate you, who you've become, who I've seen you kind of become and grow into and become. And I appreciate the comeback, man. I appreciate your story. I appreciate your challenges. I appreciate what you've been through and how you've come out on the other side of that and decided to inspire people and through your story, through your challenges and trials. And to me, fuck the music, B. It's that makes me respect you like 1,000. And I just want to say I appreciate you for that.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it, man. It's an everyday struggle. You know what I mean? It's an ongoing process. It takes dedication. It takes being tired, and just looking outside of yourself, right? In some aspects, but then also being guided by your inner self. You know what I mean? Most importantly, and then you know, it's like when you go through everything and you get on the other side, it's like you really understand why you went through the stuff, right? Because if you would have asked me why I was going through some of the stuff, I had no clue. You know what I mean? And a lot of times I thought I was in control, and to some degree I am, but to some degree I'm not. Yeah. But
Yeah, no, I mean, you starting off with some serious points, man. I mean, yeah, the control thing is there, and I resonate with your story, man, with a lot of things and stuff. We all take bumps and bruises, and that's why I like to see you come out shining, son. That's powerful, man, and to see you not only shining but to share that with people, it's inspiring. It's inspiring to me. It makes me happy, like my heart, like when I see you prisons or whatever we're gonna talk about. That's huge, man. So yeah, I can't wait to get into it. So everybody, if you guys got questions for Shyheim, please use the questions feature below. That way I can pull them up if I can. And we're gonna jump around some stuff. Gonna talk about a bunch of different things, but obviously talk about rugged road to recovery. One question I wanted to ask you, because I was playing co-defendants when the show started.
Yeah.
And I love co-defendants. I love Dust Juice. I love a lot of your music. A lot of your music, and a lot of the music that I like is the grimy shit. So how do you look back now? How do you look at your music, your older music now? Like what type of eye do you look at it with? Like, is it, I know some artists I don't even want to hear that track no more. Sometimes I feel kind of weird. Like when I post shit, we cool and stuff. When I post certain things, I'm like, do I want to post this? Like, he's in a different space now, out of respect to him. But then I'm like, oh, he made it. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
As a fan, how do you like your fans to kind of look at your older music, and how do you look at your older music?
All right. So it's like this, right? Sometimes I look at it like people pulling out your baby pictures, right? So it's like, hey, look at this when he had no tooth, right? So part of me feels that way, right? So you get a little shy about it. But if those songs were created out of real life experiences, right? So that will always be a part of me. Like the Dust Juice was real. I was hooked on dust.
Yeah.
Right. I was a addict. Not even was an addict. I'm forever an addict. But that was my choice of drugs. So I was able to articulate it to those who may have experienced or knew someone who have experienced it, and that was. You always get parables, right? Hot, cold, you know what I'm saying? Right, left. So in my life, I always had parables looking back. You know, when I made an album, right? My first album got a record deal, right? But right before I got that record deal, I lost my grandmother, right? So every time I had something going great for me, I got hit with the parable, right? All the time. Like, you know what I'm saying? Through my whole life. So to somebody looking at it would be like, damn, this kid had everything going for him. How did he lose control, right? That's how you lose control. It was the parable. So I went through life like that, So now when I look back at it, it gave me all the tools that I needed for now, right? So when I was losing my family members to, my grandmother to cirrhosis of the liver, or when my aunts died from, AIDS, and my mom's overdosed, right? All those things at the time was pain. That was pain, that was hurting. But it let me go through those things, right? To be able to reach an audience, and not only reach them, articulate it. Because a lot of times people know what they feel, but they can't articulate it to the point that you understand it and take it in layman's terms. Right. So for me, I thought it was to be a rapper, right? It was like, nah, but but it was to make me comfortable in front of large crowds, because I had a bigger mission and a bigger purpose at life. And that was to be able to, articulate this pain and articulate these situations, and, help someone else, save them 20 years of the wilderness.
Yeah, that's real. So I like that analogy you use as far as like the baby pictures, like, you know what I'm saying? It's like someone almost like pinching your cheeks, like, you were youngin', you know what I mean? I mean, you literally were a youngin'. so like so as far as your fans go, are you like, if I mean, obviously you can't control what your fans do, but like as far as me, like, you cool with, like, I love all them old joints, man. I mean, those because also they bring up a time for me when I was in that a certain space. Yeah. I was a youngin', you know what I mean? So, like, or are you kind of like to your fans like, forget that, let's move, we moving forward.
Yeah.
Like, do you think do you want us to just kind of move forward, or just kind of?
Nah, man. How would that be possible, right? You got people right here, right, that probably heard of me, right? Might have knew a little bit about the story, right? Might have even thought I was a flunky, right? So it's this whole same thing in this Staten Island thing, right? They don't know. So we have to always, pull them up to speed. So I don't want to leave nothing out. I don't want to leave nothing out. That is me. You know what I mean? It took me a long time to separate the two, though, to separate Shyheim Franklin from the rugged child, right? You know what I mean? And the man child, right? Because it was one person. I was growing up making mistakes in front of the world. That's different, right? It's different. A lot of dudes get into this business at an age, they know what they want to be. They know what the plan is. They didn't watch people, right? But I was the first. I was the first for a lot to kick through the doors, right? So I took a lot of hits. I was the first to be in television and movies and stuff like that. The first to get a major record deal. So I took a lot of hits. Of just learning through trial and error.
Yeah.
To open the door for others, and sometimes it sucks. You don't get the credit, but the real heads know. You know how they say real ones know.
Of course. And a lot of times the first person to do something does not get the credit. Let's keep it 100, man. I mean, like, in most cases they don't, so, but I mean, like you said, real heads know. But that's dope though, because I think, like, like, your story, it's part of you. So I appreciate that. I mean, like, I have a past. Sometimes I like, damn, I did some wild shit, but like, it's I'm here. It's part of what made me me. I mean, it is.
Yeah, I'm blessed, man. I'm blessed. Sometimes I look at it I'll be like, yo, there was nights, no lie, no lie, G. I probably did everything under the sun. And I'm just blessed to be here because I've known people that die for less.
There you go. It wasn't your time yet, though, and that's why you recognize, you know, what it is now, though. So, but yeah, way less, right? And you still here, like, what? How the hell?
Well, it was for purpose again,
Right?
right? You know, some people don't live in a purpose, and that's the best feeling in the world is living in your purpose, right? Because I do it. Like, I get people to say, yo, when's the next Rugged Road to Recovery thing, right? When's the next thing? I'm like, right now. It don't stop. It's every day. It's in the morning. I go into the store, right? It's just interaction. It's this conversation with people, right? And just listening and having empathy, right? Because it took me a long time to have empathy. I was a famous kid, right? With money. I went through things. Sometimes some people might have met me at a time in life, be like, yo, that was an arrogant, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Then if you're talking women disloyal, like, because I didn't have no loyalty to nothing but, you know, me and what I wanted and what I thought revolved around me. But when real life start to happen and all that gets stripped away from you, you know what I'm saying? And you sitting in them cells, right? And that's where it happened to me. When I was stripped to the bone, I'm talking about to the bone, bro. I ain't have nothing to my name before for you would call them potato sack bags, right? But draft bags to my name with some books, some letters, and some pictures. That's it. You know what I mean? The rugged child he existed because people knew, but he got buried. He got buried, and through that process, I had to go back and be his big brother. And that's what I do now every day. I'm the rugged child's big brother. So every time I got let down, every time I wasn't protected, every time all that, I go back and I forgive myself, right? And I forgive others that may have abandoned me or overlooked me in certain situations where my talent and the work I put in clearly deserves certain rewarding things, right? But what's for you is for you, G. So you're going to get it when it's time to get it.
Yeah.
And if it's not, it's just not.
Do you think, you know, sometimes we got to go through some real heavy shit. Like, we got to be hard-headed and go through some heavy shit to find our purpose.
Wait. Let me just correct him. My contracts was never fucked up. I ain't had no bad contracts. You never heard that. So he just said bad. I always had good contracts. I pride myself on being a great negotiator and getting great deals. I actually had one of the biggest contracts in the 90s for even you, for anyone, and for that matter. But part self, I just had no.
I appreciate the correction. You guys said it right. You know, people, you know, things just say stuff. So, yeah. So, no, what was I saying? So sometimes we obviously have to go through like crazy things to find our purpose, right? So you obviously went through some heavy shit. Like, do you think, was it prison? Was that, I mean, that was like the final straw? Do you think you would have, I guess, found purpose if you hadn't gone to prison?
I'd have been dead.
There you go.
I've been dead. See, listen, this is what happens, right? And with me, right? I knew from that experience, right? And if I told people some things about that night and on the impact of it, like the stillness and the quietness and what I experienced, right? They'd be like, "Oh, he's crazy. There ain't no such thing," right? But I did experience a quietness that I've never heard before. I don't want to tell people that I was at the fine line. Of course, I don't know, right? But all I do know that when I was in that space, it was so quiet. I've never heard a quiet in my life like that. And I was still present. So it taught me something. It taught me something that I'm like, wait a minute. The omnipresent is always present. So when I went through that, and it's the process of being responsible for another life. Like, dudes talk this stuff and all that. I hear you. But when you realize the damage that you caused, like when I realized the damage that I caused, like, you know what I'm saying? Mr. Felipe Ovilla, Oleas, his family had never have grandchildren. You know what I'm saying? His children won't have grandchildren. I stopped the whole lineage of things from happening from not only my behaviors, you know what I'm saying? I take mines and I own mines, but it was part of me being other than myself. You know what I'm saying?
No,
Because I'm losing myself. You know what I'm saying? You know, and in that, because when it's your first go around, nobody teaches you it.
Right.
The only thing that's going to teach you is yourself. So, and the only thing that's going to get you out of it is yourself.
Right.
I can't get nobody out of it. I can tell everybody all day, yo, rugged road to recovery, yo, watch out, yo, go down that block. It's a pothole, you're going to trip up, right? The only thing that's going to make someone stop is when they're ready to stop. The only thing that's going to make somebody rise up to the next level is themselves, and that pressure and that just tiredness.
Yeah. I mean, they say when you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, you know what I mean? Like so no word, man. That's real shit, man. And the thing that keeps coming up for me as you're talking is accountability. Like
accountability. Like, this to be real with you, right? I just be transparent, right? It's like it's forever, and certain things it's not forever. But yo, it be like it's always something, right? It's always something. But then I tell my brothers, I be like, yo, these are good problems to have. You know, it's good problems to have, and you have to, right? What I've learned to do, right? And this is a little trick that I do, and maybe it can help other people. You know, for one, you know, when there's situations, right? So it's like, you know, someone might say like, yo, the situation. I look at the situation or whatever it is just as that, as a situation, right? I'm not the situation, although I may be involved in a situation, but I'm not it. Let's say me and a family member is not seeing eye to eye, right? Or whatever may be the case, right? There is a situation, but I'm not that situation. I put the situation on the table, look at it for what it's worth, and go, this is the problem, this is this and this is the solution to fix it. That's it. But I don't hold on to it. Because when you hold on to it, you become of it and you can't see clearly.
Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense.
So I would just say, look at things from that perspective and a bird eye view. And this is something that even people that know me, and you know, sometimes the closest ones to you sometimes don't even know you like how you are, right? So for me, I'm this type of person, right? If I know you and I love you, I just deal with my mind with you. I don't send my heart to deal with you, because if I do, it throws me off. And if I don't know you and I don't really have any attachment, I send my heart to deal with you, because it's empathy that I get to use with that. You don't expect nothing from me. You're able to see the blessing of me. Just, you don't know me, I roll up on you and just bless you, pow. Right? You're like, oh, good looking, right? But now those that come with you with all the things, you got to send your mind to them. And let the mind dissect it to be like, yo, this is what it is, not what I want it to be or how I feel about it. It is what it is. You know, no pun intended. You know what I'm saying? But that's what I mean. You know what I mean?
No, that's real shit, man. Not for real. Did you? What was I gonna say? Oh, like were you writing a lot when you were locked up?
Nah. Nah, man. Yo, you know what happened? I was sent there to find out who I wasn't. You know, and to build myself up. Right?
Sure.
I didn't even have no thoughts. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I had to live in another world. You know, I had a lot of time too, right? So when you have a lot of time like I had, and I was sentenced, you know, I made it out by hard work and things like that. You know what I'm saying? Programming, you know what I'm saying? But you go through phases, like, you know what I'm saying? The first couple years it was for play. You know what I mean? I wasn't taking the situation serious. And then you get to the point, it's like, yo, I want to go home. Like, wait a minute. And you have to condition yourself to live in a society that's not from home. So when you get taken away, you have to adapt to prison life, right? And then all of a sudden one day they say, hey, get back out there, get back to it, right to regular norm, right? And you become the person. And that's why, you know, the rugged road to recovery is so important for brothers from the initial come home, right? You know what I mean? I was blessed to have a support system from the initial, because very quickly you become the person that's drinking up the last juice. Very quickly they start giving you all the problems that they was taking care of when you was sitting in that cell. And that's the worst thing we could do, is take on other problems. You know what I'm saying? And get out here and start, putting the bills. It's like, what you was doing when I was locked up? Because you should try that. You should try that and continue to do that, because it worked then.
Right.
It could work now, but a lot of times we take that pressure, before getting ourselves fixing ourselves.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Like you said, you so early, like kind of had to separate Rugged Child from Shyheim, like Franklin, and so it makes sense, man. You said it great. Like I had to find out who I wasn't.
Yeah, because if you would have told me, I thought, I thought I was, you know what I mean? Then it was like, no, you're really not, because there's some people like that are really like that. See, I was just, my uncle always say this. I was a good person. I just made bad choices, right? I was a good person. I wasn't never right. I was never really like growing up. Those that know me from Staten Island know me. They know that Shyeim was rapping and playing basketball. Like I was that kid, joker. I was joker, right? Snapping and stuff like that. That's who I was. I was a kid. I did, I packed bags at the Pathmark. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? That was me. You know what I mean? I rode skateboards. I rapped and stuff like that. The street stuff didn't come. I rapped about it, but that didn't come into the money, the fame, and the girls, and the jealousy and the envy and all that came. And then I had to deal with that. Then I had to deal with fake friends, right? People that opportunists, and then the thing that sucks is when you grow up and you like, damn, it was really just for that. Because when real life came for me, all those adults abandoned the Rugged Child. They all did. They all did. And a lot of them don't want to face that music and my story and everything like that scares them, because it's how they might be perceived. But this is not about them. It's about me, man, the Rugged Child, the story. You know what I'm saying? It's coming. You know what I mean? It will be out there. It will be in many different outlets, whether it's through animation, storytelling, books, through the Rugged Road of Recovery, through the play, through the documentary, through all the things that's in the future.
Yeah, no, that's dope. I see we're gonna get into a lot of that. I see you popping off. I want you to, in your own words, share like just right now, like what's the road to recovery all about? I mean, in your words. I mean, I follow you on Instagram and I see stuff, but like, did that start like as soon as you got home, or
it started in prison.
Okay.
It started in prison. So what happened was I had got moved from a max A penitentiary to a medium facility, and the facility I was sent to was more adolescents there. So I'm watching these kids. I'm like, wow, at their age, I wasn't in prison. I was touring the world. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, wow, you know what I mean? So then I became like their big brother, right? And then as time went on, I started getting jobs with the administration as being like a clerk, you know what I'm saying, and a rep for the population, grievance rep. And it just really fell in play. I really can't take no credit because I asked for it. I went within, right? A lot of times I used to look without myself and be like looking, yo, right? I went within myself, and it was a quiet night. I never forget, I was in a cell, and I was like, yo, if you real, give me my life back. And remove everything that's not good for me and tell me what to say and put the people in my life, right? And I left it alone. That was it. Next thing you know, it got hard for me. It was like everybody was breaking out, the chicks, homies, nothing, right? And then at that time I was reading, I was working out. I was probably at my best in the world, and it was in there. I didn't have no need for nothing. It was nice. I just had a soup. We call them crackhead soups, the little ramen noodle soups, some chips, and a juice. And I was crying, laughing, just having a good old time, like at peace, right? So when I got back out, it helped me with the business because I don't want nothing. I don't care about nothing. I don't care about the tour. I don't care about nothing. I'm all right. I know no matter what, I got everything that I wanted when I got home. I said, yo, I want a home. I want a house that's mine. I want a wife. I want a dog. I want to fix my relationship with my kids. Like, you know what I'm saying? This is what I want. And I have that today. So everything else it's a plus. You know what I'm saying? I do a record because I want to do a record. I don't do it because I need money or anything. You know what I'm saying? Because when I was doing it like that, when I wanted money and I was trying to just dump shit out, and that's probably some of my worst material that's out there, right? Because I was rushing it. I wasn't being creative. I was just trying to make some money because it became a business then. I'm like, yo, I got to get back out there. And I started running on everybody else's clock. And then it hit me when I was away. I was like, do you get famous twice? No, I'm already me, right? I don't have to, right? And your first impression is your best impression. So can't make another impression for the rugged child. You know what I mean? And greed. I had to sit back one day and say, yo, motherfucker, you did everything. What do you want? What else you want, Shyheim? You've been on hit. You had your own Billboard top charting albums, right? High ranking mics in the source, 4 mics. Rap with some of the biggest legends, right? Acted with some of the top actors, movies, television, prison. Like, what more do you want, right? So it's just like, yo, I'm enjoying each moment, because during those moments, although I lived it, I didn't enjoy it. I couldn't tell you much about how I felt about it. I can recite stories all day. Yo, word, I was with such and such, and we was here that night. But Shyheim, how did you feel? I couldn't even tell you.
Yeah.
I couldn't even tell you.
So, like, what I see you on your page, you take it, like, and I try to read stuff like you going into prisons. I see stuff about parole reform. Like, what are you? Yeah, tell us some of the stuff that you're into with some of this, man.
I'm a gumbo of trauma. So
like
that's why it looks all over the place. But yo, the experiences that I've had, right, makes me a rugged road to recovery specialist, right? So I've experienced some things in my life that some people haven't, some people have, but it's a little bit of everything, right? So I know from both sides of the coins. I know, for instance, right, I know how it is to be a son of addicts, mom and dad, right? And drugs, right? Both of my parents struggled with drug addiction. So did I, right? After, right? Both of my parents did state time, my mom's and my pops. I can show you pictures of me visiting my mom's doing the state bid, me visiting my pops doing the state bid, right? So this is generation after generation. So for me, Rugged Road to Recovery is breaking generational curses because my children never seen me in prison. So from that point, is breaking it, right? And at first I was angry. I was angry with my daughter's mom. Oh, you keeping her away, and and then part of that was true. Part of that was true, and that's what the system was designed to break up families, because that's the hardest shit I try every day, to get a relationship with my kids. It's hard. You know what I'm saying? My daughter, she'll be 21 in July. It's hard going away for 6-7 years and you're not there. And then now my sons, I'm just getting to know them because, that whole long story, you know what I mean? And, it's hard to try to come in somebody's life when they 15, 16 years old and say, hey, now I'm your dad and now let's get along. And you know what I mean? It's like, it's hard. You know what I mean? Then when you like me, someone that went through life and all I ever had to do was worry about myself besides my mom. Then once I lost my mom, it was just really just, me and what I thought was being a dad. Like I really thought being a dad was like, it's crazy now looking back, but I thought as long as I called her every day, as long as I came and seen her, as long as I got things, that was being a dad.
That's real shit.
Because that's what my dad was. I seen my dad once in a while. He called when he was from prison. You know what I mean? I had examples though, so I can't use that as an excuse. Some of my friends had both of their parents, like, you know what I'm saying, like Squig and my boy Tai. They had both their parents in the house, and I used to experience that, like going over their house to see, oh snap, both parents. But I've never had, as a minor, both parents in my house. I mean, I lived with my grandmother because I was a teenager's baby. Right. And when my grandmother died, me and my mom was on her own trying to figure out life. Then I became famous. So
wow, yeah. So so you do go into the you go into prisons and speak, right?
Yeah. But when I get permission because, like, you know, a lot of times, you know, I'm still on parole, so a lot of times I have to get permission, and some facilities don't want that. You know, it's but, you know, for the most part, you know, I go to prisons, you know what I'm saying, group homes, rehabs, you know, different organizations I partner with for, you know, for many different traumas that we face, right? But I'm not in the business of convincing anybody.
Sharing your story.
I'm not, because, you know, it's a curriculum. You know what I'm saying? I have the map to fix someone, because I was fixed. I fixed it. I found the formula. If you do what I've done and I show you what I've done, then you too will have a successful reentry. Right? I'm coming up on 5.5 years out of prison. That's astounding numbers from Shyheim. If you follow Shyheim, since like, I ain't never stay out of trouble that long, right? Because I was caught up in what other people thought, for one. You know what I mean? I wanted to prove I'm not what people say, right? Or I am what people say, right? It was just, right. Then I would see things working, like even hustling, right? I never was no hustler. I never was no, like, I didn't have to, like, hit the block, right? Because when I was younger, my cousins my age that was like that, they hit the block. So right. I didn't have to do that. I played basketball and rapped, and when I came through, everybody gave me 10 and 5s, and you know what I'm saying? And you know what I mean? I didn't have to do that, right? And then I got my own money, and then I really didn't have to do it. So when things got bad for me, I tried doing that, and that wasn't me. And guess what? Not a video, not a song, because that whole bottom up movement, that was all from a fruit from a poison tree, right? All of it was fruit from a poison tree, and you would never benefit from it. And I didn't. I came home, I had a pair of sneakers, that Gucci sneakers, and only had one lace out of everything. At all the trips and the back and forth and risking of life and bagging up and all that. That's all I had to it, you know. From scratch. But once I started moving, with nothing, I mean, zero, nothing. I don't want no parts of it. I don't even want. I stay away from those that's even connected to things that I'm not connected to, because I understand, just because I mess with some people who mess with some people that is not right, it's gonna block mine. So I just stick to those who's doing what I'm doing, and we bump heads into places, because where I hang out at, I don't see people at. You know what I mean? I really don't do the club thing, right? Why? Because that's a walkthrough. So if that's my business, why would I make that my enjoyment? So I do things totally different than what I'm paid to do. So not that I don't, you know, when you get somebody that invites you somewhere, it's like, yeah, I would love to come out, right? But you know how much it costs me to come out, and it's really work. I gotta get cut, you know what I'm saying? My gas, my toes, right? All this outfit, because cameras is on, people taking pictures, all this, right? I gotta smile. That's a whole work night, right? You know what I mean? I go to the cigar lounge, man, smoke a couple cigars, you know what I'm saying? And chill out.
Yeah. I mean, that's called maturity, man. I mean, we older, and I think, you know, I think that comes along with it. You don't have to be. I mean, for me, it's like, why work so hard? Can you hear me? Yo, shot.
Call.
Oh, okay.
Call came through.
Okay. I was saying that's called maturity, man. I mean, like, we're older, and like, you know, like, the best thing for me is chilling in the crib. Like, if I'm out, it's a big deal. Like, so I just, you know what I mean? Like, word. So, yo, talk a little bit about the system. I mean, as far as, like, I know you know, the parole reform and stuff like that. I mean, like, just what are the major issues? I mean, I've read some things and seen some things, but I mean, you kind of seems like you know firsthand. Like, what's the major problems going on there?
Well, I mean, for what I hear, you know what I'm saying? I ain't been in there in a minute, right? So when I deal with my brothers and we speak, it's what it's always been, man. It's the system. It's a broken system. The system isn't there. It's like if what they say is true, right? and you go into the Department of Corrections, their programs and everything they have there is to do what? Correct you, right? So if you go in there and you take those programs and under their words you're corrected, then you should be released, period. Or your programs don't work.
Right.
So it's one or the other. I can't sit here and be a hypocrite to say that prison isn't violence, right? And when it's a violent place, you have to, you can't be weak, right? On both ends.
Right.
It is a big business. It's a bunch of things, bro.
Yeah.
My advice is just to stay out of it. Right? If we stay out of there, we can just tell everybody, yo, don't go, right? Because I thought before I went, right, and I can't say because I went twice, right? So I can't say like I had 2 state bids, right? But the first one, if they would have sent me where they sent me the second time, the first time, I wouldn't have went back the second time because I'd have seen how serious it was behind those walls. And when you're dealing with people that's never coming home again, I have people that I talk to that ain't got no shot, ain't nothing happening. It's just what it is, right? And that's a hard pill to swallow. So you don't want to have to get there to find that out, right? I got there and found out, yo, you still got to go to work and go to school. I thought it was just a free party. You get like, nah, if you don't go to program and go get your GED, you will be going to school. You will be working. You ain't just sitting around. And if you want to sit around, you're going to go keep locked. You ain't going to get no privileges, no packages, no commissary, no none of that. So it took me to get there to learn like, yo, wait a minute. Y'all can get all that out in the street. It don't take you to go to prison to get these jewels. You know what I mean?
Right. No, that's a good point. We shouldn't have to.
And yeah, we gotta we gotta highlight those youth, right, in the community, because this happens a lot, right? A lot of times brothers will say, oh, the community, oh, the problems, the issues, oh, stacked up against us. Then how do you explain the other dudes that's from the hood too, that worked at McDonald's, that got that job in Burger King, right, that stayed out of trouble? Because I know a lot of brothers that was in the same project as me, hung out on the same blocks as me, but didn't pick up no guns, didn't go get no crack, they didn't go that way. They finished school, they finished high school, they got jobs, you know what I'm saying? They did the right thing. So, part of me saying it's a lot of it is our choices that we make.
Yeah, I mean, of course, man, accountability again. Like you got it. It's. I'm glad you're speaking on it. I mean, it's like, yo, like we in the end we making the decisions, right? Like so it's even this. Yeah, the chips are stacked against us. So there's certain things, blah blah blah. But like we made the decision to do. I made a decision to go do whatever I did. That
Yeah, because some people learn off of experience, and some people can learn off of others' experience. Like I'm the type of person, I was a hard head always made a soft ass for me. And the sad thing, I already knew, right? The intelligence that's in me, I knew what was wrong. Because it's an intelligence that's already inside of you, right? That you can't explain. Like how does even like our organs, that how it operates in our body, or just how things operate in the world, right? How do you explain that? How do you explain the intelligence of the evolution of a caterpillar into a butterfly, like of a bird, like birds fly around, they don't ask like, yo, how they gonna eat tomorrow? I think if we just stand still instead of trying to chase everything and grab it, if you stand still and stay in that harmony, that feather will land right on your shoulder. But if not, you keep trying to grab it and chase it down, it's gonna what's that word? Elude you every time.
Yeah. No, it makes perfect sense. Talk a little bit about the hoops, man. I was looking at one of your posts, and you were like narrating like your younger years, or like playing for your project, playing for stuff like that. And I love basketball, man. Yeah. So I'm like, oh shit, we gotta talk some basketball for a minute. Like so, yeah, like you.
I was fair from a square from Delaware. You know what I'm saying? I had a little. You know what I'm saying? I ran the point. That was me. That was the point. You know what I mean? Yeah, that was my thing. I love to see the floor. Give and go. That's my thing. Give and go. Get back on defense. But my whole life I've been playing like that, giving it and going, and then being under the rim like, give me the ball. And motherfuckers do all this go try to shit. All of this, missing run, right? But don't never pass the ball. Like you be open, like, yo, I'm under the rim, I got it. Like, oh my God. If this dude does another dribble again without passing the rock, or then they pass it to somebody that's a bum on the team. It's like, yo, you gave that opportunity to the bums. You gave that opportunity to the bums. You could have gave it to right? It's like this team, like, yo, why you pass the rock that way, bro? We losing. We down.
Yo, did you you follow the game?
That's how I think. So I think like a ball player. You know what I'm saying? Everything I do, that's in my mind. Give, go, get back on defense. You know what I'm saying? 2-3 zone, man to man, 3-2 zones. Like sports teaches you a lot. You know what I mean? And that's what it done for me. You know what I mean?
You follow the game now, like NBA and shit.
Yo, honestly, bro, I don't follow nothing. I couldn't tell you because all right. What I've learned and what kept me sane, that's what I do. So I'm like I got a Barnes and Nobles card, bro. Like books kept me sane. So that's what I do. I get books and stuff and I read books and you know, I do be on YouTube and stuff like that and I do see what's going on, but that's not what I look up. That's not what I study. I study a lot of technology. I study, you know what I mean, search engine optimisms. I'm just study how things work.
That makes sense. This is so I can pull this question up. Okay, that's a good question. What's the most important thing in your recovery? Like the thing that you stand on that keeps you alive every day.
Well, it's not that. It has nothing to do with that. You know what I mean? The most. It's like this, right? I just know that I have to do what I need to do, not what I want to do. Because I'll be a liar and I'll be a hypocrite if I don't tell you, yo, I want to go outside and have a good old, whoa, let it out, yo, right? I miss that nigga sometimes, right? Sometimes I be like, yo, right? It's fiending, right? But that's no good for me, right? So they call that shadow work. It's like you got to know, you know what I mean? And it's not what you do, it's how you do it, you know. You can find other ways to have that fun. You know what I mean? Just like when thoughts of doubt come in your mind, quickly think of something good. You know what I mean? Quickly. You know what I mean? You must replace it. You can't let it live. And definitely don't say it. If you're thinking it, think it. Keep it in your mind. But the minute you say it, it has to come back into your existence.
Yeah.
So I would say, and you know, that's something that I've learned. You know what I mean? So things that I say in my mind, I just keep it in my mind. Even things that I'm working on, I've learned to shut up, don't say nothing, because as soon as I say something, it never works out. It's like you can be like, yo, next Friday, yo, right, or premature. Like, yo, it's written in stone, but the check ain't get there yet. You ain't got your flight information, but y'all done talked about it, right? It's not gonna happen. Right. It's just not. So make it happen and show with results. So about results.
Yeah. No, that's real shit. You gonna do any more acting?
Yeah. But again, right, the beautiful thing that artists have now, you know what I'm saying, is DIY, do it yourself, right? They don't. I hope they understand how fortunate they are to have technology, right? Because you don't even have to be good anymore. You don't listen, bro. And I don't care what nobody says. Easier now. It's way easier. Before you had to really have some talent. You had to really know somebody who knows somebody, right? It wasn't as easy as just uploading it and you got a shot to be with everybody else, you know.
Right.
So I would say take advantage of that. Take advantage of that.
Yeah, there's a lot of. I mean, that's the thing. It's so you have so much control now over your marketing, your whole, you know, and it's easier to do shit. So like people that are experienced like yourself can take that technology and do wonders with it now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because you know
but our fan base, right? And our fan base has grown, right? So although, trust me, there's brothers that would love to come out to a Shyheim event and show, right? But guess what? They're grown men. They got responsibilities.
Yeah.
It's just not happening, right? So you have to meet your audience where they at, right? So my fan base, you know what I mean, are all, which I believe, right, are all in a recovery phase in their life. A lot of them. A lot of people that grew up on my music is either getting out of their divorce, or either to something, or getting off of drugs, or getting out of jail, or right. We're all going through this process of recovery, right? Because we had to learn through trial and error. Right. So they relate to the rugged road to recovery with me more. Because they like, yo, I wasn't the only motherfucker fucking up. You know what I'm saying? When I do the rugged road to recovery and everybody's there, I'm like, whoa, it wasn't just me, right? And we all share the same stories.
So when you say you do the rugged road to recovery, that's like an event you put on or something like that? Like
privately, I do meetings.
Okay.
I do rugged recovery meetings, wellnesses, right? If you want, if anyone, it's a little, it costs a little change, right, because of what's provided. But you know, think of, I don't know, I could say the real world meets reality, right? So you come to the house, there's holistic chefs in the kitchen. I have educators, financial advisors, manicures, pedicures, facials, all those things going on at the Rugged Road to Recovery meetings. You know what I'm saying? And so not only do we eat good, right, or the chef has us drinking smoothies, but it's explaining to us why it's important to not eat certain things or to eat certain things, right? Then as educators, there's some people that come in the rugged road to recovery, right, and they don't got their GED yet. So we have to sit down with an educator to get them ready, right? Or if they have a GED, help them get these into programs that maybe they want to go back to school, who knows, right? And then it's, you know, recovery coaches to help with sobriety. You know, it's a gumbo of plug, right? But the problem with that is I don't bring the cameras in that, because a lot of people talk about a lot of private stuff that they go through, you know what I'm saying? So it's more like a retreat thing, you know what I mean? This summer I want to go upstate and get a nice lakefront and be there for the weekend with everybody to come up. Yeah, so it's good, but we tackle everything, right? You know what I'm saying? Because you got to feel good. You know, when I went to prison, I'll be honest with you, I didn't care about myself. I stopped loving myself, because if I did, I would never put myself in them stupid situations, bro. I didn't care, bro. When I got there, you know, the first thing, we start loving ourselves again. We start getting our hair cut every day. We start working out. We start ironing our clothes. You know what I mean? We getting our self-care back. And when we fall off and we go in a spiral, that's the first thing we lose. We start getting on them binges, getting high and partying every night. And I tell a person, yo, if you go out every night of the week, you could talk that, yo, you promoting your album, you out there working, but you having 3 drinks a night. You an alcoholic, champ. Straight up. You an alcoholic. Whether you want to admit it, you having more than 3 to 5 drinks, you're a straight alcoholic. A week? So if you go to an event on Monday, Tuesday, you may take off Wednesday, you back at it Friday, Saturday, but each night you didn't drink a bottle, or you didn't had 3 drinks at the bar. Champ, you an alcoholic. Let's be for real, right? But I mean, but it's to each his own, right? Because me, I was a functioning addict, right? You can give me alcohol, you can give me weed, right? You can give me all that. It's not going to throw me on the bench. You give me some of that PCP, you'll be like, who is that? Who is he? That's not the same person, right? Because it's for whatever reason, that particular drug have a hold on me. You know what I mean? It's a thinker's drug, right? So I start, you know, it's you know.
No, I know we talked about this the last time, because I told you I was from CT. We talked about coming to Connecticut.
Yeah, word.
From New Haven, so you know, like I seen, I get it, man. That was, and it's yeah, I know. So yeah, we was talking rugged road to recovery, and that'd be dope. Like, you know, you said doing like retreat styles, man. Like retreat style, like are you do you have an official organization right now, or is like
Yeah, definitely. It's just like it's so intricate, right? Because everyone, you know, when you create something, right, there's many different facets of it, right? So on one hand, it is a reality show, right? Because I document and I journal the places I go, right? But it is a curriculum. At the bottom of it is a curriculum, and I bring this curriculum to different facilities, and I also do my own, right? What it looks like in the future is my own institution, right? Right. So I won't, it'll be somewhere. Back in the days, if you remember, I don't know, yeah, we around the same age, so there was Fresh Air Fund and things like that, right? Where you was able to leave the hood and they'd take you to Pennsylvania and you live with some family. And, all the kids that went to Fresh Air Fund back in the days used to come back with stories of fishing, and them people stayed in their lives. And I remember being young, like, yo, I always wanted to be one of them kids, right? And so I implement that at the end of the day. You know what I mean? It'll be like that, where I take the youth from the community and take them out of the community. So, but right now we got to deal with what we have and the resources. So, unfortunately, a lot of the youth are in these situations. So, I got to meet them where they at.
No, of course. No, that's dope. I mean, the future of it. I mean, and because I was saying, like, you become like because I work for a nonprofit. So I was saying, if you become like an actual nonprofit, then you can get grant money.
Well, again, right? That's for people who aren't celebrities, right?
What's that?
So that's for people who aren't celebrities. See, me, Rugged Road Recovery is a foundation, right? So the difference between a nonprofit and a foundation is this, right? How they get their money from the public or from private, right? So in my situation, right, Rugged Road to Recovery, right, it gets its money from Isometric Concepts, who gets his money from Shyheim. So when Shyheim makes a song or Shyheim puts out some merch, right, under Isometric Concepts then sponsors the Rugged Road to Recovery. So that's why I'm always able to do some shit, because I'm not asking nobody for nothing. I'm not trying to say, yo, please pick me to give me a grant money. Shyheim's going to give Rugged Road to Recovery the grant money.
Gotcha. You're doing it yourself. I feel you. Makes sense.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But I just leverage it. Like, so every time I do a show, every time I do a feature, a percentage of that goes towards the Rugged Road to Recovery initiatives.
Makes sense. You funded yourself. And the thing is, with the thing that comes with the grant sometimes too is stipulations on how you have to do it.
Because that's when it becomes not fun no more, right? The best thing about what I do is, like, I can do whatever I want to do when I want to do it, and I don't have to check in with nobody to say, does this fit your guidelines, right? Because I partner with organizations that got to do that. I partner with them, and y'all do that. But the Rugged Road to Recovery is for profit. It's that, right? Because, let's keep it a buck. Ain't no money in it. So for all you guys out there thinking, yo, you're gonna start going do what I do and go to jails to speak, well, there ain't no money in it. So if you're thinking about that, it better be your passion. See, me, it's my passion, right? I lost my mother to this. I lost my mother. You know what I'm saying? I lost my aunts. My boys is dead. You know what I'm saying? I could have been dead. I've been to prison twice. You know what I'm saying? I was a straight up dust head, right? People didn't flip, right? Kick the back, and you don't know what it's like to be talked about till you fall off in people's eyes. People talk shit about you. What are you gonna do? You know what they said to me? They be rapping behind bars for the foreseeable future. When I read that, I said, who me? Not Marilyn's son, you bugging? Watch this, right? And some of the people you loved was like, what are you gonna do when he come home? Get back on? Yeah, right. But the difference is, I figured it out. I'm never gonna win at the game, right? Not at the industry game, the music. I'm never gonna win at that game. You know why? I didn't make the rules, right? So this is how they're able to block me. This is how they're able to rewrite history and leave you out, right? Because I'm just not in that, right? So when you learn that, and you learn you have to create your own industry, you have to create your own institution, and then you make the rules. So when I got out, I said, you know what, Shyeim, fix your life and walk straight. Walk straight. That's all I do is walk straight, bro. I ain't do nothing but walk straight and don't look back, right? If I work on myself every day, if you try to pull me away from me working on myself, you have to pay me, because I'm on a mission, right? So when I wake up Every day when I rise, the first order of business is what I'm paid for already. The second order of business is what I need to do for myself, my purpose, what I want for me. And then the third is to help others and share that, right? But in this business, you know, it's favorism. Yo, get on my project, right? Get on this, get on that, get on this, right? People use you, monetize you. Niggas will monetize the F out of you and won't give you nothing. They're not telling people the game. People sitting there, yo, come get on my, like, that's why I respect brothers that I built with. Like, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Brothers like Gully, you know what I'm saying? Brothers like Lord Jamal. When I got on their platform and they told me what it was, right? So then you got all these people out here, even with platforms, right? Know they getting paid. Know they getting paid for them views, right? No, they are. But they're going to try to tell their forefathers, yo, come get on my platform to get you back out there, get you back in the light, knowing you making money. So that's why I'd be like, yo, listen, I'm not sitting down with nobody unless I get a parent's fee. And I want some of that money on the 21st too from YouTube. I want a percentage from that.
Right.
So if you going around just giving people free money, hey, that's you. But I don't want shine. I had that. I want to do the business. And when you get serious and you want to do your business, guess what? Ain't no room for you, champ. And they want to outskirt you because they don't want you freeing the rest of the slaves. You know what I'm saying? You going out following people that's making money, but you ain't making none. You in the wrong spot. That's why I don't go nowhere that if I ain't making no money with the people. So I got a problem with that. You mean to tell me you got an event and you can invite me the night of the event? Why you ain't call me when you was putting the event together so I can make some money? Oh, you just think I'm a face. You trying to use me. A body, an extra body. Nah. Call me when you putting the plans together. And you can guarantee I'll be there because I got an investment to be there.
Right.
Other than that, I trust me, bro. I ain't going. Under no circumstances. And I love brothers. I would love anything. It's just I'm not going, right? Because everything is put on the right. My life's at line, right? Being up in these spots where you just never know, right? So just live purposeful. That's why I tell people, live purposeful and focus on yourself, man, and build yourself up, man. Because, and guess what? Every time you do it, you got to do it again. Every time. So you can get a number one, you can think you lit, right? You can think you moving, yo, it's moving, we got the vibe, right? Guess what? The minute you breathe, you got to start all over again.
Man, Jules, yeah, this is real talk. This is real shit, man. And I appreciate you sharing all this because I'm personally, there's people here and I appreciate everybody in the chat. We're gonna get this up on YouTube and everything. But I need to hear this. So on some real shit. Like, so this is important to me. So how do you look at hip hop now?
Oh man, many different ways. It's many different hip hops to me, right? I look at it as there's no standard. It's no more standard for when I was coming up. There was standard. It was just things you could not do. Right.
Okay. Are you saying that should there be? I mean,
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. As far as it, right, I think there people need to know there is a such thing as rappers and rhymers, MCs, totally different things, right? I think that we got caught up in a popularity contest. Don't really care how good you are. I'm saying not to say it's not cool to be popular because you want to be popular, right? But it's just all over the place. You know what I mean? The no-nos is cool. Like you see guys performing and they're rapping with this song. That's Milli Vanilli.
It's okay though.
But because it turned into a business, it's a business, right? That's like an artist sitting there really thinking that the people that they listen to on the radio is really that good. Is really on the radio because the people chose them to be on the radio and they're hot. That is a mistake to think that in the first place.
Yeah.
But you know how the radio pays their bills, you will understand. That's like me, right? When I look at it, I'm like, yo, I can get on the radio if I want. And I can make that sucker ass DJ who I don't like say my name if I take out an ad. I can pick him. I don't like, I'm gonna pick you. And you're gonna say my name all week, chump. And it's not up to you because you get that letter from the admin that says, yo, this company is spending advertisement money with us. We have to play his music. So that's how the little guy gets left out, right? So you got a radio station that gets a list of all the big wigs that they got to play the artists that's locking the game up, spending the money. Then that DJ who's pretending like, yo, I'm breaking records. He only gets to play 2 of his own. And one of them is going to be somebody that he's trying to break, and the other one's a bag. So what happens to the dude that's just nice? But thankful to, you know, like the internet, you can have your own radio show, right? So these things I tell artists, right? It took me a long time to figure this out. Anything that makes an artist, you have to have, right? Or outsource it or have your hand in it, right? So if you're an artist that's putting out music, you should have your own internet radio show to play your music. You know what I mean? You should have your own merchandising, right? Your own machines to make your merch, right? You should have your own recording stuff, your own film stuff, right? And have it not only for yourself, so when you're not using it, it's a service. So I buy cameras not because I'm nice with a camera. I buy cameras because I hire people to use the cameras. But when they done using my cameras, guess where it goes? Back in the locker. Because it's a film production studio now that I created by buying 1 camera, 2 cameras. Now it's a print shop once I buy 3 press machines, right? But I have to buy the machines and then hire the people to come work the machines. But it has to be your machines. If not, you're always at the mercy of everybody else. And that's how when you get in a record deal, they rate you because they say, I got a guy. Everybody's always got a guy that could do something, right? And they want to use their guy. Why? Because they get to raise the number up on you. They charge less if they don't own it. If they don't own it themselves, they're getting a great deal off of it, but charging you more. For a service they charging you $1,000 from it, they may even be their company or their man's company that their man is only charging them $200 and laughing to the bank with you, right? So this is important. So when you ask, when people say, yo, Shyeim, are you doing the album? I go, phew, you know how much I got to put in that, you know, investment to get a return on it? So you have to pick things that gets a quicker return on it, right? You save it, and then you invest in your career and you do it from your heart. Then it's all fun. Then you'll be the blessings because you're not trying to make a record or get a hit record.
That's, yeah, I've been hearing that from a lot of people. You do it the other way around. You know what I'm saying? And then
I've done it. I've made a lot of poor music because I was desperate for it, right? I was desperate. I really sold drugs, bro. I sold drugs to get in the studio to make videos. That was one of the dumbest decisions I ever made.
Yeah. Looking back, I mean, of course. But yeah, no, that makes perfect sense though, to like do it the way you just said. Like you know what I'm saying? Then you can be creatively free because you're not doing music like for somebody else or whatever.
Yo, you know what bothers me? Bothers me, right? Sometimes when I read comments, right? People like, yo, Jay-Z featuring Shyheim, right? Question mark, right? Yo, Shy, you going on the Wu tour? It'd be great you go on the Wu tour. Text the Wu and tell them that. If y'all feel that way, all these Killer Bee fans, yo, we would love to see the Killer Bees. Just stop messaging me this shit. Message the people that you know can make that happen, bro. Don't message me. We'd love to see you on the Wu tour. Tell them where's that. If y'all want to see y'all, message them, add them every day. Don't stop. I'm tired of it, bro. Right? The Jay-Z you want to see? Tell him.
Right. Right.
I'm with it all. That's what I'm saying. Like, come on, but tell him, bro. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's gotta get.
Meantime, we with the rugged road of recovery. We you know, just what we doing.
Yeah, that's gotta get a little tiring, I guess, to hear that after a while.
You know what I'm saying? Especially when I'm doing a service, right? My main thing is my service, a rugged road of recovery service. The other stuff is products, right? Yeah. It's products. So, you know, every day I get joy out of doing the real work. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. No, I get it. And it definitely seems like, as we've been talking, like that the music is secondary for you now. But you know, to
necessary. No, it's not. Let me reiterate that, right? It's just the direction is for. So I do make music, right? And I do make content, but the music is just for the backdrop of the Rugged Road to Recovery's purpose. If you can get me a little bit, right? So there's gonna be albums. You know what I mean? It's just that it's not gonna be what it has to stick to the narrative, right? Because anything else than that is uncivilized for me. You know what I mean? And there's different ways, you know what I mean, to get rebellious, right? I can get rebellious, but it's just how you get rebellious.
Yeah. So no, it's like that. The music is supporting the Rugged Road.
Yeah. Because I get fans that be like, all that Rugged Road Recovery shit is cool shit, but now fuck that shit. I want to hear you bite a nigga head off on the mic. Like I get that and all that. I want to hear that. I want to hear that rugged. I want the rugged child. And I'm like, I want the man child, right? Say, make man child too. I was like, you know what man child 1 cost me to make? Shit. I don't know if I'm up for that. Because my life has to do that. Like a lot of these other rappers, they didn't have to live the life to do that. If I could do that and not live the life, then I would be a hypocrite because I would be pumping a fake narrative. Like, you know what I'm saying? That would be fake. I had to go through this shit to spit it. So I can't, I'm not willing to risk that to spit it.
Yeah.
So those that's willing to meet me where I'm at right now, mentally and on a path that I'm on, then more than welcome. You'll enjoy the music. You know what I'm saying?
I think the music, I mean, like, it's interesting. I mean, to me, like I don't know like what people want to hear, but like it's been. I just had a conversation with Brother Jay from X Clan. We were talking about the relationship between fans and artists, and it's dysfunctional as anything. But like we want to hear what we want to hear. But like for instance, like a Ninja Stars joint with Don Pacino, like that's it's not like super grimy or nothing. It's some braggadocio hip hop. You spitting some stuff. You spitting in that. Like, so I don't think like, I mean, I don't want, like there's levels to this. Like we want to hear, I think it would be weird to say, okay, we want to hear you just talk about like just the wildest, grimiest shit after what you're doing right now. That wouldn't make sense though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, wouldn't fit. But like the joint you did with Deck, to me, that's real MC shit.
Man. Yeah, that was a fun record for Diamond D's album.
Right, Diamond D, right?
Yeah. But a lot of that, like I'm gonna keep it a buck. Right. Like a lot of records that I've done so far since I've been home, been like some flying vocal shit. Like, so it's like it's cool when you make records, right? But we wasn't on the same page. You know what I mean? From the conception of it, right? So you figure it's like real diamonds and lab diamonds, right? It's like it's like having sex and having babies, then going doing what they call that veto, right? You put the thing in it, right?
So yeah.
Like that. I have a bunch of those records out. Yeah. Like, but actually getting in and you know what I mean? That's what I'm looking forward to. Like getting in and like from the beginning, because that's how I created music from the beginning. I didn't get beats from people. I was in the crib with R&S and Rakim from the first. If you're not there from the, you ain't really make a record. And that's what I want to get back into. And I'm glad that I'm able to now because I'm not doing it to get a check. Like, of course, I'm going to make money, but the purpose isn't to get a check. So I'm taking my time, tapped in with some great producers, my man Caviar out of Cali, you know what I mean, Vortex Productions, right? You know what I'm saying, and all that over there. We working on some music together. So it's like, building it.
So we're going to get something.
I don't know.
When I said, but we're gonna get
yeah.
Now, I ain't gonna say when. I mean, like, you know what I'm saying? But
you know, 2 to nothing, right? Because man, it won't be nothing 2.
Oh yeah. I don't really like those anyway. To be honest with you, those are never as. I mean, can we think even movies? I never really think of a sequel as good as.
I wouldn't dare touch On and On Again. That'd be the worst thing I could ever do in my life. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, But yo, honestly, the show's been fun. I've been getting out doing some shows. I actually got some shows, a show coming up on the 25th of April. It's a whole weekend down in Tampa, Florida at the fairgrounds. Me, Onyx, Gazoo, Yasin, XP
Oh, my man, XP the Marksman,
XP.
yeah.
He's on it. My guys out in Cal. Yo, it's gonna be dope.
That's my brother. That's my brother right there. Yeah, word.
Good dude, man. Family. Yo, word. So we out there. So that's been fun. That's been fun doing a lot of the old records, Soul in the Hole, doing shows, you know what I mean, seeing the crowd's reaction to it, right? And then doing new records that I've been on, like Gully TV album, with Sam Scarfo, and doing those records, or even the RJ Payne Anarchy. When they hear that, they hear them, you know what I'm saying? The record with my man Hus Kingpin, Major Look To. When I rock those joints, those are real underground, so I can kind of feed both audiences. You know what I mean? Because some people don't even want to hear nothing new. They're like, yo, I lost generation. I was in high school. Yeah. And it's like they want you to say, fuck the police, you ain't coming. But it's like, yo, I can't, because...
Yeah. I mean, that goes back to it, though. We want, like, we you know, as fans, man, we put y'all in the box, man. So
that's why the Rugged Road of my show, the Rugged Road of Recovery set is so imperative and funny, right? Because I do those songs, right? But it's, in hindsight, it's like, yo, when I do the Dust Juice, right? I have to do the Dust Juice in order to do the Rugged Road of Recovery and explain to you how I got on the Rugged Road of Recovery. So my show is that, you know what I mean? So it's a lot of things where it's like, yo, shit is real, right? And then it's like, yo, but yo, this is the other side of that.
Yeah. No, that makes perfect sense, though. Like, I mean,
people are blessed with that. Like, that's a good thing to be blessed with. Like, you know, to be able to go back to your younger self and correct those errors, and you know, do the responses to the revolutionary.
Right. That makes sense.
That's all it is. It's the reaction to the action that happened. You know what I'm saying? Right. All the action in my life, the Rugged Road of Recovery is the reaction to that.
Right. Yeah, I mean, there's no, you know, I mean, like we talked about Dust Juice earlier, there's no Rugged Road to Recovery without Dust Juice. I mean, like,
yeah.
Right. So nah, man. Listen, we're gonna get ready to get on out of here. I got another show in 15 minutes. Q Unique, Arsonist, Rocksteady Crew. But yo, listen, I from the bottom of my heart, man, like I appreciate this more. Like I said, as I said earlier at the top of the joint, like it's bigger than the music. I've you know, rocked with your story. I rocked with you since you were burst on the scene, and just seeing, like, as someone said, it shows the growth. And so I appreciate it, man. It's inspiring
well,
to me.
Thank you for wanting to hear it, right?
Yeah.
Because you become this enemy when everything is against it in the game. You know what it is, right? You know what it is, right? And sometimes, yo, it is what it is. You know this game. So what I do is I remain out the way, right? Because these people would love to just say, see, it was this when it wasn't. So it's a lot of that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's a lot of that. It's a lot of they don't want.
You getting the call? Lose it. Oh.
All right, we good. We back. Yeah. Damn, where was I at?
You were talking about kind of like some hating shit.
Oh, well,
really, like they don't
not hating this business, right? Because listen, if the Rugged Road to Recovery is the medicine, and their job is to keep you sick.
Yeah, I mean,
you know what I mean, so just you know what it is, but we ain't gonna stop, and we pushing forward. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we appreciate you, man. I can say it all night. I mean, I appreciate you. A lot of the stuff that we've talked about just
now.
now.
And Staten Island. Oh, Staten Island. We got the Juneteenth event coming up. The Rugged Road to Recovery set is gonna be phenomenal this year. So yeah, we're about to get right for Juneteenth this year.
Yeah. I might try to pull up even from far away.
Nah,
get out there.
Shout out to everybody, man, that came through for me. That's gonna be at the show. You know what I'm saying? We locked in. We're gonna turn up. I don't want to blow it up and announce it yet, but yo, we going in. We going in this one. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be a great show.
That's dope. We appreciate what you're doing, man. We appreciate everything you've done. Appreciate hearing your story, man. So everybody, we're gonna get this up on the YouTube channel. This has been episode of Buck 60. Shyheim, Rugged Child,
Buck
man.
60, yo, that's dope. That's dope. That's knowledge, equality, all being born to God.
So,
Praise.
look at that. So thank you, man. We're gonna talk soon. I appreciate you, brother. And we'll get a clip of this up soon, and we'll get this on our YouTube channel. So thanks for rocking with us.
Anytime, bro. You know what you do. Keep it up, G.
I appreciate you, fam. All right, peace to everybody. Salute.